Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you're having a beautiful day so far. We're out at Park Inn by Radisson. It's lush, the sun is out, and we've got a really wild one for you guys when it comes to today's show. But before we even get into that, I have to tell you about our friends over at My Dawa who have some of the most amazing, most affordable prices when it comes to healthcare, hygiene products, wellness products, baby products. And it's really easy. All you need to do is download their app on Google Play, or you can check out their website, www.mydawa.com. But trust me, you're going to love it because A, you don't have to go out of your way after work or during lunchtime to try and go into a supermarket and purchase these things. And B, it's going to save you some coins. And let me tell you, times are tough, times are hard. We're about to end the year and we want to spend a little bit more money on other things in our lives. So why not just go for the more affordable prices if they're there? Why not, okay? We're going to give you a little bit more info about My Dawa at the end of the show, so make sure you stay tuned to that. But for now, let me tell you about Mandy Saro, Nancy Mwai, and Sheila Ndinda. They are these three incredible women who have done so much for the content creation space. They started this brand called Girlfriend Diaries, where they just live their best lives. Recently, they took a trip to Bangkok, and for today's show, I'm about to ask them everything you could have ever wanted to know about social media. So here we go. I feel like I've just dived straight into a Girlfriend Diaries and I'm getting like the scoop on what like Mandy, Sheila, and Nancy talk about, which let me tell you, they don't filter anything. The stories we had right before this, incredible. But ladies, I'm so curious to know, when was that first moment for you where you thought, I think this vlogging, blogging, content creator business might be something I want to dive deeper. And Nancy, I want to start with you because I think you are the OG of blogging, of social media, of this whole world. So when was that moment for you?
Okay, so I used to be a stylist in college because I had an extra job. So I remember saying I don't want to do this forever because as much as I love styling, it was the one of the things people accepted as fashion. Blogging wasn't, you know, it wasn't a career.
Yeah.
But I remember sending people emails. I used to send like 10, 20 emails a day. And there was one time I did like a December, like a December, you know, like a sale for my blog. I wanted people to have ads, you know, put the banners, you know, that's what we used to do back in the day. Yeah. And I got at least 5 people back and they were willing to pay. And I was like, you know what? This is not so bad. Yeah, this is it.
What year was that? Do you remember?
2012.
2012.
Yeah.
Sheila, when was it for you that you were like,
I think for me, I just jumped into it. Like I just started sharing pictures of my own hair on Instagram. But that time I think I had like about maybe 5,000 followers, 5K. Yeah. And then there's this one picture that I posted and I remember very well. It was in April 2016. It was a picture of me with my tapered cut, Bantu knots. It went viral. Yeah. And after that, after posting that picture, I think I got about 30K followers. So I just grew, just that one picture. And then most of my following was international. Like it was mostly from the US and the UK. Just because of that one picture. And then after that I was like, okay, there's something called social media that I can use to, you know, showcase my hair. Because I was already doing it, but I wasn't serious about it. I was just doing it for fun. Yeah. And then I got this, I think one brand that approached me, international brand, and then they were willing to pay me for a post, and I was like,
From one picture?
One picture.
What year was that?
2016.
2016. Mandy, when did you decide the Throwdown Queen is
I think
your
like
title?
2015, late 2014. So I used to do this online talk show, which was like, we discussed about like sex and all these things. And it was just called verbal intercourse. It was just fun. Until one day we got like this email, the girl and I who used to do it, we got this email like, hey guys, would like to involve you in like a World AIDS campaign based on the talk shows you guys do. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. And I think that pivoted the fact that I always used to cook. And then now, literally 2015, now I started getting like a little bit of traction in terms of people saying, oh, you cook. So I started getting like 2 brands who were like, we would like to, you know, engage you in like, you know, mentioning our product and stuff like that. So that's how it all happened. Yeah.
So it's interesting that it's usually when money came in that you were like, okay, this, I'm onto something. So would you mind sharing how much your first gig was. I can tell you mine. My very first brand, it was like a clothing brand, and I was paid 5,000 shillings. And even that, I felt like I had duped them. And I was like, this is too much. This is too much. I can't do it. No. I've got to go over and above. Mind you, that 5,000 was spent running around and getting props and but I still felt so excited about it. So what was your first?
It was the same, I think it was the same amount, if not like 3,000. Yeah.
Wow.
Because like, it's a long time
and it's a long time ago. I agree.
Yeah.
Even for me, I think it was like 2013 or
Yeah,
so.
for me,
Yeah.
around that time, 2012, 2011,
Sheila?
For me, I was lucky because, as I mentioned, my first like sponsored post was an international brand. So I think I think it was $150. That's about 15,000. I mean, to me, I was like, this is a lot of
That's
money.
a lot, yeah. To do something that you were already doing before and you didn't even know you were going to, have a business out of it.
So
Mandy?
clearly I was the top earner because I made 25K.
Hey.
Okay, like know your lane.
25,000.
25,000 actually. So that was like crazy because when they offered it to me, I was like, oh, that's like half my rent. I was like, really calculating, having fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So Mandy, you're obviously known as the throwdown queen. You're the foodie. Sheila, quite obviously, you are the hair guru. And I also, actually, the first time I ran across you was because my sister has natural hair. Yeah. I told you about it. Yeah. My sister has natural hair, and I was like, what products? I wanted to gift her natural hair products, and I was like, where do I start? And I was like, who is this girl? She's so gorgeous, and her hair just looks so amazing. And then Nancy, you actually are the person who spurred me to even start blogging because of the fashion angle. So I'm curious to know, was it important for you to create a niche for yourself right from the onset and just understand this is where I'm at, this is what I'm good at, this is what I need to focus on?
I think for me, it just came naturally, right? My first ever post, I was like, I've just thrown down some chicken, and I was like, oh, hashtag Miss Mandy Throwdown. But then I guess I had like an added on advantage because I had a mentor who had taught me about the power of like, digital is about to boom. Do you know how big it's about to boom? Use a hashtag. So that's all I can remember around it. But I organically love food. So it wasn't like a strategy. I was like,
this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Sheila, I'm also curious to know if you almost feel like you trapped into this role, or if you just generally, like you were going to talk about hair anyway, you love it.
I mean, as I mentioned, I started posting because I just love wearing my hair out. And then I thought about it and I was like, wait a minute, the people who are following me mostly want to see hair related kind of posts. So I kind of stuck to that. But then sometimes it's also good to just exclude yourself out of that because I'm more than just hair. I also want to talk about other things like lifestyle, travel, fashion. But then you find that my following is they just want to see hair. And if I post something that is not hair related, then I won't get the best engagement.
Right.
So I tend to stick to that category.
Interesting. Yeah. And I almost just want to dive into that a little bit deeper, but I want to hear from you, Nancy, because you've been in this for the longest now. So was there a point you're like, you know what, I'm just done trying to live up to your expectations of what you want to see from me?
Well, for me, I knew I wanted to do fashion. Even when I started the blog, it was called Fashionable Notebook. Like it was, I knew I wanted to do fashion. So everything came natural. I started doing the fashion post, then I started now doing beauty. What has happened in the now recent years, like the last 3 years, is when I've been like, you know what, I'm gonna do what I want. What I love, what I want to share, that's what I'm gonna do. So that's what has happened to me now in the last couple of years. But at the beginning, I ended up just sharing this one line thing,
Because that's what you're known for. And it leads me back to what you were saying, Sheila, that you're more than hair, you're more than the throwdown queen, you're more than style. But you've sort of built this brand around this one thing. And do you ever feel trapped and almost like I'm not going to live up to your expectations of me?
I feel like if you let the people control it, yes. And yes, another thing, if you let the numbers control it, yes. So if you put up a post about you love eating pawpaws and people expect you to write about hair and it has 3 likes, you know what? You love pawpaws. It's fine. It's okay. That's what you like. You know what I mean? So if you let that dictate it, then you won't end up bringing in people. If every time you post your pawpaws that you love, every time, like Mandy started with avocados, I'm sure day one it was like, okay, great. By the 5th time she's saying her avocados are always perfect, people are coming into the movement.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? You have to keep and do it consistently, and people will change with you. But if you do it once and give it up, yeah.
And that is true, because Nancy keeps telling me the same thing. Like, if you love it, then share it. Because I have that huge problem. Like, I love something and then I post it and then I don't get engagement. So I'm like, I really stress myself around it. And Nancy's like, Sheila, you love that picture, you did a good job, and you've posted it for a reason. So that's all that matters. Yeah.
Release. There's not much you can do about that. So obviously, this is a space that anyone can get into. Any person with a phone can start an Instagram account, a Facebook account, a blog, YouTube channel, which means there's an influx of people, which means it's a crowded space, it's very competitive. How do you stand out from everyone now? Because like everyone has a YouTube channel, everyone has an Instagram account, everyone is an influencer. How do you stand out, Mandy?
I think it's just a thing of like trusting your uniqueness and your dopeness. And that sounds so vague and so bad advice, but at the same time too, it's like, I was listening to this podcast and it said, if you're entertaining and you're educating people at the same time too, people are gonna keep coming back, you know what I mean? And to tie it into like, let's say the Girlfriend Diaries, people were not giving us content of like friendship. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoy seeing Black women who are friends together. So I think this even added another top layer of like, wait, these girls have friends, you know what I mean? They're not just like into their little boxes of where they stay. So I think being authentic, people will gravitate towards that, as opposed to like what I'm seeing now with the influx of influencers is everyone is trying to create content that will get clicks. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, where you're not feeling the authenticity. It feels like, hi, I'm selling this product and I'm going to give you my booty to get you the clicks. You know what I mean? And I feel like people are really drawing towards authenticity and are able to call out and see what they want to consume at the same time too. But then data is also cheap. So as a result, people are like expecting churn out of content and influencers to be consumed at a very high rate.
Right.
So yeah.
What do you ladies feel? It's the same thing?
I mean, it's all about doing it differently, because at the end of the day, so many people have videos on like how to, let's say, style something, but it's how you do it differently. That's what's gonna get the people to stand by you and keep coming back to your channel.
How do you know what to share and what to keep private? Because I think you ladies have done a really good job at drawing that line.
For me, I used to be an oversharer when I started my blog. I used to share all my relationships. Everything.
Every relationship.
Everything. I remember if I did someone today, you'll see them. Someone else knew the next day. I was in college, I was young. But then as soon as I got pregnant, like I don't know what happened. Like stuff changed for me and I was like, oh, I don't want to do this. I just felt a need to protect my family. Because they didn't choose this, I did. And I still wanted to do it. That's why I took a year-long break, wondering, do I want to go in or how will I do it? Will people ask me to But you know what, I realized I'll share what I want. I'll share. If I want to share them today and I want to share them once a year, I'll share them once a year. Right. It's at the end of the day, it's my page. I'll do what I want. At the end of the day, yes, you have the consumers consuming you, but if you go according to what everyone wants, imagine 1,000 people telling you, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. It's hard.
I feel the same way. I mean, sometimes I can get personal. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to show anyone my house. Like, just the other day, people are expecting to see like a living room update in my house.
It's never happened.
Right now, I'm just thinking, I'm like, do I really want to do it? I'm like, a part of me doesn't want to do it. So I keep fighting with that. So sometimes I'm okay to share. Sometimes I'm just like, I just want that space. I want that space for myself. Because you can't please everyone. And that's the problem, because everyone coming to your page or looking up to you is like, oh, I want to see this, I want to see where you're going, I want to see what you're doing, but
who you're with. What does your baby look like? Where is your
where do you live?
Yeah,
what do you do?
exactly. How much do you make?
I think for me, I'm looking at it from this perspective. I mean, aside of me being like, you can say an influencer, I also work in media. So I've noticed how the trolls are not kind, you know what I mean?
And it's an understatement.
They are not kind at all. And I just realized videos quickly, I'm already filtering, I'm already giving you guys so much, right? I work out, I give that to you. I cook, I give that to you. You know what I mean? Before I do anything in my kitchen, I give that to you. You know what I mean? So I had to create this boundary where I was just like, I need to keep something to myself that I will enjoy by myself, right? And I don't actually enjoy meeting people and they're like, yeah, I saw you and da-da-da, and I'm like, wow, my business is that much out there, and I don't have these memories that I can just share with my close friends, my close family members. That's why I don't even post. I actually even ask for permission before I post someone's child.
Have you ever put something out that you thought, oof, why did I share that?
Yeah, me.
Right?
So this year I kind of did not featured my boyfriend, and I hated the comments that came after, like in the other videos where they're like, you haven't posted to him, are you guys okay? I'm like, no, we didn't eat last night and we're sleeping on the streets. So it became slightly annoying because originally you were just in love with like my food and every other piece of content that I gave you. I just shared a little bit of him, and I honestly don't enjoy it because what if I break up with him? You know what I mean? Then you'll be there like,
But you share that as well.
But
for the
also,
clicks.
no, look at
No,
Nancy.
but that's what I'm saying. If you look at it from the other side, there are people who, like I said, my beginning blog, I used to date this person today, I share it. The next month I'm with someone else, I'll share it. Like, and it wasn't a big deal then. Now I think because of the comments coming at you, it's that's why you take a pause and you're like, I'd rather not even say anything.
And I think also it's an awareness that once you open that door, however slightly, someone's foot is in there and they want more. And that's just as long as you're aware. Whatever it is you share, you're bound to have people wanting more.
Because they're expecting an update. They're like, oh, what's happening?
Yeah, exactly. We have to take a quick break, but we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. I am with the style queen, the hair guru, and the throwdown queen, Mandy, Sheila, and Nancy, also known as the Girlfriend Diaries. Also known as Girlfriend Diaries. And we've been talking about social media because I think combined you have over 300,000, maybe close to 400,000 followers on Instagram alone. And I'm now curious to understand the business of social media because there's a lot of theories of how, hey, influencers aren't really making money, especially in Kenya. And, I've seen comments of how surely you must have a sponsor because you can't be traveling on your own accord. How? As a woman posting on social media? So can you demystify that for us? Is there money on social media and can you live a good life off of what you do?
Yes, you can. It's a career just like any other, especially now. This is not years ago now. It's a career like any other. So you actually can. It depends with how you negotiate. It depends with the career moves you want to take. It depends with where you're seeing yourself at the finish line. It's just like any other career. If you take it as something fleeting, you'll charge people a G for this, a G for that, a G for that. But if you're more, strategic and consistent, you'll be able to make it a career.
And it's moved a long way from like the 3,000 you were charging in the 5K or the 15K. Right? It's moved a long way. But would you all agree that it is a legitimate career?
It is. Especially with now like much more brands like seeing how they want to take their brands to the next level and how you can influence it. So yes, a brand will say, would like to take you for an all expenses trip to XYZ, you know what I mean? And you can choose to take that trip in whichever route you want to take it, you know what I mean? And probably their expectations aren't like, we need you to tag us or whatever, we just need you to showcase us on Insta stories. So imagine how much you can be able to milk out of that moment. And the people who actually really make it in this game is those who know how to navigate and negotiate out of these moments.
Right, exactly.
And
that
so
understand the business side of it.
Yeah.
And would you say that there is potential to scale and to grow?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
I know,
there is,
Nancy, you started Shop New Level, a store. And first it was an online shop. Now you have a physical space. So those, I guess, are some of the ways in which...
Yeah, you can scale, but also just doing influencer work, it's possible to scale. I feel like people don't think it's a legitimate business because when they try it for 3 months, it doesn't work out. And this is a different type of job. It's not you get employed, you get money. You have to do it. I did it for what? I think I did it for 2 years, and it was a hobby then.
Yeah.
Before I knew it was, it could give you income.
Yeah.
But that's why people say, I don't think it's a job. Even many times up to today, people ask me, what do you do?
Right.
What
And I
do
think
you
that
do?
question, I know is
I see them all the time, and I'm like, I'm a digital content creator. It's a legit job.
But I
Yeah.
also think they're forgetting that networking also plays a huge part of it. So you've posted for 3 months and then you're like, but no one is calling me. But are you even trying to get yourself into the door? It's the same with any other job. You would need to get yourself into the door for people to notice you in the room. You know what I mean? So you would need to put in a little bit more effort.
And that's the problem. People getting into this space right now, they don't want to put in that effort. They just want to sit and make money
And
while
put their
seated.
links in every comment so that you go see
Yeah,
their
you got-
channel.
Oh,
It
and then they
doesn't-
don't want to do homework. So they want you to do the homework for them and be like, hi, feed me what you've learned over 3
Yeah,
years.
so right. People don't research. You need to research. I research every day. I keep telling myself, I know nothing. At this point in my life, I know nothing and I need to know better. I need to research. Every single time, I keep getting better at this. But people come in knowing I know everything, I can do this. She's been doing, I can do it. What she's doing, easy. Can do it.
And to put it very clearly, like over the years, a lot more money is dedicated to social media influencers, hundreds of millions of dollars worldwide dedicated, because obviously there's strength and there's power in the fact that you have a connection, you have a connection, and you have a connection with that audience and community. And if Mandy says, this curry powder is the curry powder, you're going to go out and get it because you know she knows what she's talking about. And there's power in that. And I think sometimes people just can't picture that there's work behind a glamorous photo. But do you think that influencers have a shelf life? That you're only good for this amount of time? I mean, your entire business model and brand is based off of you as an individual. So do you think that at some point...
No. Yes and no. I mean, I think it depends with your career move, to be honest. I've been doing this I'm clocking 9 years. You get, I'm clocking 9 years. We've seen people like online YouTubers saying, I've been doing this for 10 years. And I'm like, wow, now is when I can see you're winning. You know what I mean? So I think it just depends with your strategy, and just also sometimes, let me say, going with the flow. You look at how the things are changing and you change with those waves.
You have to decide if you want to grow in it as an influencer or you want to grow and maybe start your own business out of that, because you already have an audience. So you have to think of it like, okay, I already have a following, so what can I do that is extra and use my following for that? Like a person like me, I have a full-time job. So for me, influencer job is just like I wouldn't say side hustle, but since I enjoy creating the content, I still want to be in this space and I still want to do my full-time job.
So on that note, Sheila, how do you decide which brands to work with?
So for that, I just have to look at it strategically. Like I have to feel if the brand fits my niche. My niche being either right now I'm into lifestyle and also hair. So I have to first of all test out the product, for example, and feel like, do I like this product? If I like it, then I will work with the brand. That's what I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ladies, same question to you. So for me, I'm very rigid to some extent, especially with like food products, because I'm usually like, I actually don't like this. I don't use it. Because I have come to realize like people know like my palette probably is a bit more diverse and I tell a better authentic story. So I really do filter. Before I used to say, oh my God, yes. Oh, wow, you're fine.
You can't say it.
There's money?
Yeah.
But now I'm heavily filtering it. And also I'm looking at it like, let's say from a health perspective, like, is this really messing up with my health internally? I got a call recently and I was like, I don't know if this is for me, Or even, I don't know if I can be able to create something around this. So those are the things that make me filter through brands that I want to work with.
Because you can't say yes to everything.
That's true.
I say
eventually all you become is a walking, talking billboard. And it loses its luster. You suddenly aren't that person they trust. You're just someone
even
who's
people will be like, oh, you're just
regurgitating.
posting it because you're being paid to post it.
Yeah.
But then that's why I was saying it needs to fit within your brand.
I think the biggest mistake influencers do is they say yes to being a billboard. Let's think about it, because you can still create the content and talk about it in your caption, right? But people will be like, hi, Hi. Yeah. Exactly. I am selling this to you today. Right. So, are you the same ladies offline that you are online? If someone was to hang out with you without the cameras, would they be like, yeah, they're the exact same person?
Yeah, for me, yes.
Was it always like that?
No. It reached up when I started YouTube. I remember my first video. I think I was so rigid, you know, and I wanted to just show a one-way thing. Then I was like, this is so hard, you know. I understand the minute the camera is in front of you, as much as you're alone, you still feel nervous. You know what I mean? So, but the more you do, consistently you do it, your personality comes out and it's just the same you. So whenever I pick up the camera nowadays, I don't even do 3 takes. I just talk and keep it moving. If it doesn't work out, it's fine. It's okay.
Mandy, are you the same person?
I feel like Sharon would answer that question better.
If you don't filter, you'll say it as it is.
It's
You have
just-
zero time.
I have zero time. Like I'm really loving the woman that I'm becoming. You know what I mean? So as a result, I want to be consistent with that woman that I'm becoming. Before, I used to be like, maybe I would overthink some things, but these days I'm just like, oh my God, did I look like a hot mess? That is a true depiction of who I was. You know what I mean? I do not want to lie about that moment because it's inauthentic. I mean, unless I didn't like it, then I'll just be like, maybe we could filter that part out. You know what I mean? But for the most part, this is me who you get 24/7. But let me just add this disclaimer. So just because I was fun on my vlog doesn't necessarily mean the next day I'm gonna be fun. I've probably gone through a lot of life between the last video and the time you're seeing me. So I think there needs to be room for people to be like, yeah.
She's not going to be giddy with her, you know, like the way she is when she's with her girlfriends.
Yeah.
It's the opposite for me, I think.
Yeah.
I think I have a stronger personality in person. In camera, I'm an introvert, so I don't like sharing
I'm an
so
introvert as well.
You're
What
not.
are you saying?
No, you're not, Nancy.
I am.
I think you're introverted, extroverted.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you're not. So on camera, I'll tend to be shy, and I won't really let my personality show. But then in person, I think I'm more myself. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yes, you're very rigid on camera.
Very, oh my God.
But in real life, we
You're
know
not.
a totally different Sheila.
And I think sometimes it's okay to just not give everything. Like we were saying earlier, you can't, some of the things you say off camera, honestly, if you said on camera, hey, no, please. Some of the conversations we've had, let's not. It's okay sometimes. Let's talk about the haters. Those trolls that no matter what you do, you can't get rid of them, you can't escape it. It's a part of just being online. Whether you're an influencer or not, there's probably going to be someone just like at the back of your mind. How do you deal with the haters?
I think Nancy should start on this.
Yeah, Nancy.
Why?
She has very good feedback on this. And
Okay.
sometimes I'm
How-
like, wow,
what
you
do you
sound
do?
like you've been doing this for 10 years.
Wow. Okay, for me, I'm not confrontational.
Okay.
So when I see something, I won't lie. Sometimes, sometimes maybe you're having a sensitive day, so it adds to your sensitive day. Sometimes you're having that energy, and you're like, whatever you said, I don't care. But me, I always may just delete, block, move on, and I forget you.
Right.
And
you do forget. You do forget. You actually don't
forget.
remember. Yeah.
It bothers you maybe sometimes at that moment. Sometimes I even let the comment sit there and I'm like, you know what? This is not the truth. I know the truth. Especially if it's not like hateful. Someone is maybe giving what they think is going on. If you're hateful towards me, I'll just block you and you'll never come back.
Right.
But sometimes I let you, just sit there.
Yeah.
Just sit
Right.
there, your ignorance, stew.
Mandy, I want to go to you
Oh
because I've
my
seen some
God.
of the responses you've given online.
So,
Yeah.
I have to give this disclaimer. I moved to Canada and I got bullied, I remember so much. And I remember my mom saying this piece of advice to me. She was like, I'm not in school with you, so you're gonna need to stand up for yourself. So now that I've transitioned into this like influencer space or whatever, it's been very interesting for me because, again, I work in media, so people will come from like the angle of like, please give me advice, you know what I mean? Or the angle of like, I'm gonna be hateful. So let's backtrack to like a couple of days ago. I was out with Patricia. A troll who's called me ugly consistently comes up to me and she's like, I'm such a huge fan. I was like, girl, take it down to a 0.
Really?
Because what I do is, so you troll me, I want to click on your page and I want to remember your face.
Mandy remembers this.
Mandy
I
remembers.
remember people's
Wait, so you
faces.
actually go and read?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to remember your face because I know that they act very different offline and I have to protect that space. You know what I mean? So I'm usually like,
I wish I could do that sometimes.
that's my method. So I will look at your page, look at you, block you, right? But I will never forget your face because I know how you act when you see me. You try to be like my buddy, and I'm like, you are not my friend. I am very okay with people disliking me. I hate the dilly-dally
Keep
people.
the same energy.
Yeah.
The same energy.
So back, so
yeah.
you're out with Patricia Kihara, and then this person comes up.
So she was like, I was talking to somebody, and Patricia was standing right next to me, and so she's telling Patricia, I'm such a huge fan. And then she turns to me and she's like, hi. And I was like, let's not do this, right? Let's not do this. So Patricia is like, Patricia's not confrontational. She's like, is everything? I was like, this girl trolls me.
Wait, so what was her reaction? Did she just walk off, or?
No, she was just like standing there, and then her boyfriend comes in, and then her boyfriend starts saying, you girls are broke. And I'm like, you know what? Y'all are messy. Like, we
The
are
trolls
not doing.
came offline.
Oh my
And
goodness.
it's so crazy because these are the same people who want you to give them advice, but then I get thousands of comments a day. Like, how am I supposed to keep up? And then you catch a feeling that I didn't respond, and then now you start calling me ugly. Like, it's just been crazy. So I always remember faces. So if you troll me, make sure you have an anonymous account.
That is so shady that you would have these comments coming at that person, but when you see them, you're like, oh my gosh, I actually really like you.
Because people are liars, they like to live a lie. So they, like, recently someone commented something on my page, a picture I'd posted, and then they were like, you don't even respond back to DMs anymore. Anyway, you're not even beautiful. I don't know. And then I literally went and looked for that DM. Oh my God, begging. Oh my God, so I love you. You're a huge fan. I look up to you. And I'm like, 1 minute you have this character.
So
the
do you
next
have that
minute
plus
you have-
99 on your DMs? Do you have like the plus 90? Yeah, I have that
We all
every
have
time.
it.
And I look at it. I was telling Mandy the other day, I don't even want to go to that side. I was just having a little bit of anxiety because I don't want to meet with comments and DMs that I don't want to deal with.
What's interesting is I used to hear the haters, they actually are projecting what it is that they're feeling, and I never used to understand that. But the disparity between one person who will be like, oh my goodness, you're ugly, I don't even like you, and then the next moment, that same person is there saying, hi, I actually like you. Or once you even give them any kind of attention, they might even respond with, oh wait, sorry, I didn't even think you were
Gonna
It's almost
respond.
like,
Yeah.
it's like it's almost like they're going through something, and it's really not a reflection of who you are. So for me, I've just learned to separate that whatever you're going through. is
Yeah.
on
You have
But
mastered it.
yeah, I have zero.
No, I used to be.
I'm like Nancy.
I used to let it
block, delete.
affect me. Oh my God, I'll read a comment and I'll be like, oh. I call Nancy, I'm like, I'm so stressed. This person, Nancy is like,
But that's your personality. Yeah.
But I
affects
think
me. But nowadays I block.
It's
and
funny how
ignore.
like the more you see it, the more you
Yeah.
get numb to it.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Very.
That-
Yeah,
the more you
very,
see it, the more
very,
you get numb to
yeah.
it, which is a sad thing, but it's one way to sort of deal with the haters. We have to take yet another break, but we'll be back with more from Girlfriend Diaries. Welcome back, everybody. We're at Park Inn by Radisson, and I've had a front row seat to Girlfriend Diaries. I have Nancy Mwai, Sheila Ndinda, and Mandy Sarah with me. For this last segment, I'm just going to read out some of the things that's been happening in the world and specific to social media content creators. And I just want us to have honest discussions about it. First up, Grownish star and social media influencer Luca Sabat was reportedly paid $60,000, that's 6 million shillings, to endorse Specs online. And for that, all he had to do was post 3 Instagram stories and 1 Instagram photo. So he's got 1.4 million followers online. The story didn't quite end well for him, actually. He's being sued by them because allegedly he didn't do what he needed to do, and so they're suing, whatever. But the main thing I want to focus on is that 6 million shillings for 3 IG stories and 1 Instagram photo. Question to you. Do you think the Kenyan rates when it comes to social media influencers are fair?
I think it depends per person what you charge. 1, 2. We are a developing country, first of all, so their rates are going to be totally different from ours. But at the end of the day, talking about us, here everybody charges their own according to what their worth is, their numbers, their engagement, and what they see fit according to the work they're going to put out. Yeah. So that's how it is.
I actually have to agree with that. It's not there just yet,
Yeah.
but
We are getting
are,
slowly.
yeah.
But then at the same time too, it's so crazy that are we the ones who are looked at as influencers? Because I feel like there's other people who have outgrown that bubble that are actually looked at as the influencers, and you're like, do they really influence product? Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? And those are the people who are kind of raking in that kind of money, right? But at the same time, too, in this level field, I have to agree with Nancy.
I agree as well, because you see, at the end of the day, you can have someone who doesn't have a big following, for example, and then the engagement is like out of this world. Exactly. But then you'll find that a brand is not willing to work with a person who doesn't have that big following. They're looking at the numbers, but at the end of the day, you also have to look at the engagement. And of course, you wouldn't end up making a lot of money. So that's just, it's unfortunate.
Right, but it's gone a long
Yeah.
way. It's come a long way from where it was, and more people understand the role that content creators play. Okay, second scenario. So there's this gentleman called Prince EA, and he gave a memorable speech. In it, he said,
I have one question for every influencer, because we're all influencers. And that question is, when people come to your page, do they walk away better or worse?
Definitely for me, better. Because like I always cook, I'm always like putting people onto something, so I feel like they're learning something new. That's how I feel. Because I swear to God, when you turn on my Insta stories, people are always like, I'm so hungry, oh my God, I want to travel. Like, I really love that. Yeah, makes me feel good.
I agree, it depends. For me, since I like to sort of like, the way I curate my content, I always make sure that when you come to my page, you'll definitely enjoy seeing all the content. So I know for sure that they're learning something from my page, or they're enjoying seeing the visual posts on the on my page as well.
okay, another one. Catherine, who's better known as Fashionable Stepmom, I'm sure you all know Catherine. She recently posted saying, bloggers stroke influencers will like each other's posts / pictures, send DMs and all, but when you meet in person, it's a whole different ballgame. No one wants to say hi to the other, chat, share ideas, or encourage one another. It's very weird, as I think there is space for everyone in the market.
So mine is the complete opposite.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask if you've experienced
like they
this.
see me, they're like, hey girl,
me too.
kisses. But it's so weird because like on my personal page, they watch my stories with their own private account.
Who? The
The influencer, the blogger.
Influencers.
Yeah. But never double taps, never comments, everything. I had to like hide my stories from them because I was like, girl, bye. But then when they see me, they're like, oh my God, girl. And then I reached out to them and I was like, maybe we should do a collabo. And they were like, no, I'm too busy. I was like, okay.
So you have experienced some cattiness.
Yeah. And I'm just like, so why when you meet me, you want to act like you're my buddy? Like, I'm okay with you just not wanting to work with me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So have
I
you
think
felt that there's some tension between?
Yeah, I get the same, like the same thing that Mandy has said. For me, they don't even comment on my page. They don't even support any content that I put up. But then when they see me, they're like, oh my God, Sheila, your feed. Oh, what app do you use? Oh my God, Sheila, oh, I need the tips.
Yeah.
Which photographer, which phone? But none of them.
But they've been watching.
They watch.
This happens to
They
people
watch.
who go look at the
Yeah.
people who are watching your stories. I never go down that road. I don't.
It's not even about the stories. It's not even
The
about
top
the
10.
stories.
Yeah.
Even just the post. Because if you see my feed, of course you've come to my page, so you've seen my posts. But then they don't comment. They don't engage at all. Zero. No support.
But even you are having expectations.
no, it's not
No,
that.
I
It's
think
because
I
people
hear what
think
she's
it's a
saying. It's
competition, and not a
odd that someone
competition.
is coming to your page, looking, observing, not showing any kind of like good job, encouragement.
And then in
There's
real
nothing-
life,
but in
they're-
real
in
life
real
they're
life,
like,
it's the
oh my
opposite.
gosh, you're killing it. But
You'd expect someone to show more love online because it's just a double tap.
Exactly.
In real
or
life,
even
it's
just
harder.
like a comment and be like, this outfit is so cute.
get.
It doesn't take too
In
long.
real life, it's harder to just come up to some. I feel like double tap is quick.
so how much of it would you say is collaboration and how much is competition?
I've come to learn this in the last few years. Just being friends with Mandy, Sheila, let me tell you, collaboration is amazing. It's an amazing thing coming together, and especially when you feel like you can relate to each other. And this is, let me say this, I've said this on my videos, you can't come and say, hey, I love you, let's collaborate.
Right.
I don't have chemistry with you.
Yeah.
I have no idea who you are. Even before Mandy and I even did a video together, we had chemistry. Like we were friends. You know what I mean? So that's the thing about collaborating is it's such an amazing thing, and you move forward, both of you, you know, you get better.
Right. So why is it, do you think, that there's this kind of tension? Because I'm hearing from the both of you at least that you have experienced that it's really weird. Like, why would you be one way offline or online and the other way?
I wish I could know the answer to that because I just I particularly don't have time. I'm very big on collaboration, and I think you can see it very much on my YouTube. If I click with you and I feel like we mesh, let's do it. But
I think it's because people are looking at it at the other angle, like, it's competition.
Right.
they're projecting.
Like Catherine said, it's almost like, you know, you feel like there's only one room on this table, and I'm going to take it, so I'm going to knock everyone out. But that's not the case. Okay, another one for you. So Kanye West, I'm sure you saw this, but he recently said that he thinks it would be ideal if platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, sort of did away with the numbers so that you don't actually get to see the number of followers you have or the number of likes, because his theory is that a lot of what we do online is driven by that. I need to have the likes. I need to see that everyone liked on this or followed me. And so he says that you should have the option, the same way that you can hide your profile or comments or something like that, is the same way that he thinks there should be that button that, let's hide that.
You can do that on YouTube.
You can do that. So what are your thoughts on this? On like
I think
hiding?
it's great, but I also don't think it's great. It's great because then you can just post whatever and keep it moving, right? But then I also don't think it's great because how am I going to get these coins?
That's what I thought. I was like,
But then I find it weird, but it's gotten to this, it's not even weird, it's gotten to this part where now more and more and more people are buying followers. They're buying likes, you know what I mean? Because they need to keep up with all these other influencers who are like organically getting likes and comments and everything. So I don't know, it has like I have like a 60-40 feel about it, you know?
okay.
Yeah.
Would you take that option if you could, Nancy?
Should only remove her DMs.
You don't, let's take out the DM.
Yeah.
Maybe I would remove the dislike button.
On YouTube?
On YouTube, maybe.
Why?
But do you even get dislikes?
I do, yes.
Can I say this? I have to say Nancy's theory. So 12 people dislike, but 800 people like. You're kind of winning, girl. You're kind of winning. They give you a view. They give you some coins. You'll be fine.
Me, in recent times, I don't care much about the likes. Sheila can tell you. I've come, you know, Sheila has a very beautiful feed, and me, I'm tired of stressing over beautiful
Aesthetics.
feed. From the Bangkok trip, I was like, you know what? I'll post anything. If it's a selfie, 10 selfies at once, it's fine. I don't have to break the feed with something. It got so stressful because now I end up posting, let's say, maybe once a day, or you know, you find yourself posting once a week. And you know what? I want to share everything. I want to share something I took with my phone, camera, this camera, that camera. I want to share it all. I don't want to scrutinize every background behind me, every small thing. So right now I just post whatever I like, and I've realized something. You have a high quality photo here, you have a picture you took with the selfie camera here. They're all getting the same likes. Same likes.
Nothing changed.
Nothing changed. Yeah.
And I think even people don't notice it. It's just, I think it's us, we stress
Actually,
ourselves.
they do. There's a few, but yeah.
Hardly.
Yeah.
Whoa, thank you, ladies, for being so open and sharing the highs and lows of social media and demystifying a lot about it too. I personally can't wait for your next Girlfriend Diaries trip. Oh, wow. I 100% can't wait. You guys just made Bangkok look like not even just Bangkok, you went everywhere actually. It was Phuket as well. So generally you just made Thailand look like the ideal, ultimate destination, 100%. So thank you, and keep shining, keep shining. Okay, now here's something brief, interesting, and important that you need to watch from our friends over at My Dawa. So take a look.
Living with S in association with My Dawa.
So we're at the My Dawa HQ, and I've got Tony Wood, the MD, Managing Director here. First of all, thank you for having us here. How did this idea come about?
Thank you, and welcome to My Dawa. So yeah, My Dawa. How did we come up with My Dawa? It was my chairman actually who came up with the idea. Who'd seen problems with the cost of medication, the cost of just general goods in one area to another. The quality sometimes varied. So what he looked at doing was putting together something that could guarantee the cost and be affordable, guarantee the quality, which is something that we take real pride in, and make sure that it's constantly available. And that's what we try to do.
E-pharmacy, that's the part that I thought, how come no one, I would never have thought in my wildest dreams to make, access to quality products, or, whether it's pharmaceutical products, health products, to be available at your fingertips. So was that a concept that you and the team thought that Kenya was ready for, and what's been the reception like in Kenya?
And I think absolutely, and that's why Kenya was chosen as the first country to set this up, primarily because Kenyans have adopted e-commerce, mobile money, faster than anywhere else on the planet.
That's true.
The penetration of internet and smartphones in Kenya is one of the most in the region. So it became a very logical place to do that. Plus, being able to do that virtually from your telephone and have your products delivered to you within less than 4 hours is a real benefit to people. Anyone who's driven in Nairobi, anyone who's been stuck in traffic, especially when it's raining, you're never going to get things done. And if you're feeling a little bit under the weather, the last thing you want to do is spend hours in traffic, whether you're driving yourself or whether you're on public transport, to go and find the things that you need, whether they be health or wellness products. Let's have them delivered to you.
At your doorstep, very
Absolutely.
conveniently. So I also know that you have all been very keen on finding strategic partnerships, some of which have been with insurance companies, which I thought was genius. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, when we started off, it was you could pay by mobile money,
Right.
And that's the thing. But the insurance companies have the same issues that everybody else has. We've managed to reduce the pricing of our products, medicines and other things, primarily by making the supply chain very simple and very secure. That allows us to reduce the price of drugs to the insurance companies. So they see that as a very big benefit. It's a benefit to them. It's a benefit to their members, because very often, if you're a young millennial, you're invincible. So you don't often go to the doctors. But if you're somebody who's on a chronic care medication, or you're somebody with a fairly large young family, kids are always going to the doctors. They're always getting medication. Very often your outpatient cover runs out before the end of the year. So with us, we're looking to make that cover last that bit longer with the insurance companies.
Which I really appreciate about My Dawa, because it goes back to some of your pillars being, not only is it convenient, it's also affordable, and you really focus on the customer at the end of the day. And you're right about, kids racking up your medical bills. Like, there's always something going wrong, or something that needs your attention in that regard. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tony. Thanks for breaking it down for us a little bit further. That was lovely.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you very much for coming.
Living with S, in association with My Dawa.
Well, there you have it. That's another reason why you need to have that app on your phone. Very easy, very simple. All you need to do is download it or check out their website, www.mydawa.com. For now, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you once again to Park Inn by Radisson for hosting me and the lovely ladies. We'll see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. sharp. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.